So let's focus our main agenda. That is, as you can see, the guidelines for research students and their supervisors. So basically, I will be sharing my experience. So as Padmawati mentioned, I have supervised almost 80 to 90 students. Some of them are doing very well in Australia, US, Canada, and even some of them are also in top administrative positions like dean, pro vice chancellors, and so on. Okay, so that's actually the uniqueness of my presentation here. So maybe around 1 hour, I'll be sharing my experiences. So these are some of the things I'll be talking here because time is limited. We may not be able to spend too much time, but I think this will be something, some of the points I can highlight, and then later on also I'll be sharing my YouTube channel because time is always limited, but the channel is never limited. One-stop center, one-stop opportunities where you can explore at any time at your convenient time.
Yes.
Okay, so when we are talking about this supervision, PhD studies, master studies, higher studies, sometimes I feel you don't have proper preparation and planning. As a result, sometimes some students take 10 years, 15 years. So I was in so I remember one student from neighboring countries of Malaysia spent almost 15 years to complete his or her PhD studies. That's extremely bad practice, certainly. So if you know if you make a good plan, this will help you to finish in time. Sometimes also we call it graduation on time. You may have scholarship for 3 years, so you need a very good planning. Otherwise, you cannot finish within 3 years, and you need to pay from your own pocket. Okay, so to avoid all this, you need a good preparation and planning. Then proposal. What I mean is candidature defense. You need a proposal. Some universities, private universities, somewhere also needed work completion seminars. Okay. So as a student, you need to know some of the requirements. So one slide also will highlight some of the requirements with respect to Malaysian practice, but all these are also practice all over the world. Okay, it may vary some point to point, but in general, I'll be sharing the global practice because I'm working with all over with the collaboration with all over the world. Okay, and I know some of the practices in US, Australia, and Canada. And when we talk about this thesis, supervision, student higher studies, writing is very, very important. So you need to write your thesis, you need to write number of papers, you need to write your proposals, you need to write your progress report. So writing is very, very important. Okay. So even though writing is communication skill, but there are other skills also. This communication skill is extremely important, because you are going to communicate your results to scientific community, with the panel members, with your supervisors, with the collaborators. So if you don't know how to write, how to speak, how to address the comments, so you will be in big troubles. Even though you are a very good student, your results are outstanding, breakthrough, but if you cannot write it properly, if you cannot draw it properly, if you cannot express your good things, so that other non-science-based people also cannot understand, then sometimes you will not be considered as a good researcher. So these skills are not only for your thesis, I think for your job also, this communication skill is extremely important. Once you finish your master's, PhD, so you'll go for interview. So in that interview, actually, you need to speak, you need to present, so you need to sell your research. So if your communication skill is very poor, I can tell you that you will be in a great difficult situation to get a good job. Okay? Also, when you will be finishing your PhD masters, you'll be joining as a lecturer. So you need to talk, you need to give a lecture, right? So if students cannot understand, if you cannot convince them, if you cannot speak well, if you cannot present well, student will complain because there is a feedback form. Okay? If students are not satisfied, they will report to the university management, to head of the department, to the dean, and you will be in big troubles. Okay? So communication skill is also very important. These are the best place, time during your master's, PhD to improve your communication skill. So one of my students, I have supervised many students. So one of my students is a good researcher, but his communication skill is weak. So I have been persistently telling him that it will be problem for you. So I told him every day you don't need to spend 2 hours, 3 hours, at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes you spend every day to improve. So he is trying that. Rather than saying that after finishing my master's PhD, I'll focus. No, that is not good practice. Good practice is regularly you spend little bit of time consistently. That will help you to overcome some of your challenges. Okay. And since this is a research, you cannot work alone. So you see when people publish paper, you'll see there are sometimes 4 people, 10 people, even Science in Nature, 100 people are there, right? And sometimes maybe you don't have some of the equipment in your lab with your supervisors. Sometimes maybe some of the topics or subtopics are not within your areas. Maybe let's say statistical analysis or some material characterization analysis. Your supervisor is not that strong. You are not that strong. So you need to find someone who can help you to overcome all those challenges. So collaboration is also very, very important. Financial scholarships, so for higher studies, normally these are also issues, challenges. So if time allows, I'll be talking on these things also. Okay. And also finally, it is very important for higher studies, you need the necessary resources, lab, databases, for example, publication databases, LCBR, Science Direct, Opus, Web of Science, for the different analysis and particularly to download the necessary papers. Without downloading, without available paper, actually you cannot conduct critical review of literature, you cannot identify your novelties, you cannot design your projects. So many challenges will be because of this proofread. Particularly all these are very important. So based on my experience, sometimes researchers, even supervisors also design a project in such a way that it is very what is called the dreaming project, but sometimes they don't know that they don't have some of the equipment, lab facilities, materials, and as a result, student suffers. And sometimes they change the topic. So these are bad practices. So whenever we take our students, I ask the students, I have a video on my lab. So please watch that video and then prepare a proposal aligned with the available resources we have in our lab. If you design a project that cannot be completed,
the recording has stopped.
Generated, data cannot be generated, then you will be in big troubles. Okay, so these are very important issues you need to understand, you need to plan. So this is also under the plan. When you are planning, you need to ask your supervisor also, do we have all the necessary equipment to conduct research on this topic?
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, now let me talk about the preparation and planning. So here 3 things I'm talking: research topics, objectives, regular meeting, timeline. Sorry, not 3 things, 4 points. So why research topic is important? Today, as you know, when you are in social media, probably you will see that a lot of discussion on high impact research, citation impact, H index, right? So when I was doing my research during my master's on household appliances, after finishing that, I was thinking that this is not that impactful research. Okay, so if research topics are not strong, not attractive, not with the global grand challenge areas, hot topics, actually it will not give you much impact. Okay, so since I started my research on household appliances and I feel that this topic is not that,
the recording has stopped.
I slowly move to high impact research topics once I finish both my master's and PhD. For example, as you can see, I'm working in the area of nanomaterial. So these are some of the new recipes: solar energy, renewable energy. I also do homework.
This meeting is being recorded.
Around the world, who has top citation, who are publishing in high